hardcore, you know, the productions were generally better quality. But I mean, the synth lines, for example, they kind of remind you of Augustus Pablo's Melodica in some way, you know.
Yeah, I think good way of putting that. That's nice, a nice way of putting it. I don't know, is that my phone? What happened there now? In the 80s, I used to do parties, christenings, weddings, little small things as a sound system called Ita Rockers. Because before that, I was in different sound systems, you know, sounds that you might not heard of, but Ambassador, Sparta, some old-time sound systems, big guys, big men that, you know, had influences on me. And Chicago house music in the 80s was big. So it kind of had that kind of a dub feel to it because it had the 4/4 beat to it and it had a raw bass. So the Chicago house was kind of, had that influence at that time and I liked it. And then this guy kind of, well, we call it back of a lorry, which means some stuff, some stuff that you get cheap from somebody back of a lorry. So I bought a keyboard, a 4-track mixer, and stuff like that off this guy very cheap. And then I went home, wired it all in, and started just ding dong, but just learning how to make a tune. And then me and my brother was in my bedroom back in the days, and we just built tracks together. But I built this certain track called Ita's Anthem. And I didn't know it was called Anthem at the time, but you know, it's this track called Ita's Anthem. And we had these little parties, we call it jams, little small places, like a party, but it's not a party, it's a jam. So you go down there and you take cassettes. We had no CDs and no stuff in there, there's a cassette tape. And we put the cassette tape in the place where the guys are playing. And this tune, people just went crazy for this tune. And it just went crazy anyway. And I played it in different places, in different towns, and it just took off. So anyway, a record label signed me up, put the tune out, and it did well. And at that time, there was Warp Records, and there was this, they were called Basic Records, it was a local place. But Warp wanted to sign me up at that time, but at the time when they were going to sign me, there's a group called LFO, which their track went big. It just started to get big in the charts.
Yeah, that was the tune LFO.
Yeah,
LFO. LFO as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they were good mates of mine as well, and the tune was just taking off. So at that time, we didn't expect the tune to take off. It just took off. And at the same time, I was about to sign the contract, but everything stopped because this tune was taking off. So they had to concentrate on that. But when you're young, you get a bit kind of eager. So I signed for a different label. They put it out, all good. Did well, happy with it. But then Warp came to me afterwards and said, why did you sign? Why did you sign for them? I said, well, you guys just messed me about. No, it wasn't, it was just the track took off and we had to take time out and blah, blah. I said, yeah, but I want the tune out, you know, I want it out, so blah, blah. Anyway, so they're mad with me. This record company is like, them two arguing about it, sort of thing. So I was in the middle. So I just stepped aside, left it as that, and anyway, the track did well, and I was happy with what I did at that time. Because it was a platform for me to move on. So I moved on, and then another record label signed me called Rhythm King, and they put our next track out with them, and that did okay as well. But they went down, they kind of went, you know, record labels kind of go down, so they went down eventually. And then that's when the Irish Steppers came in. So I'll make you carry on from there now. Just carry on talking?
Yeah,
okay. That's when the Irish Steppers came in. Because every time I played a party, it could have been a christening or a wedding, where you got old people and young people. But I always tested my system out with a dub track. So the old ladies in the kitchen, turn it down, turn it down. So the bass is lacing out. And every time you play some nice soft tunes, some old-time tunes for the old ladies and your mum and dad and stuff like that. All good, all cool. Then the last track, I used to play a dub track again, just to make sure everything's working all right. So you draw the bass, all good. So anyway, when that happened now, I was building tracks with a few friends. And these are dub tracks now, and it was doing well. Then from there, people said, why don't I make the sound bigger? Why don't I make Ital Rockers bigger and be a big sound system? So I said, nah, it's too much money. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Because that time I was, you know, signing on the dole. I was poor. Yeah? Well, I am poor now as well, but, yeah? So anyway, so that happened. So all my money that I got from the government, I pushed into my sound system. Anytime we walked past a house, this. You walk past a house that is getting boarded up. We used to take the wood off go there at night time and take the wood off to those boxes, right? So we knew that this house down here is going to get boarded up soon. So we waited for them to put the board up. Night time come, board come off, boxes get built, okay? And screws, nails, all that business, we used to this, I don't want to say the word steal, but we used to borrow it, okay? We borrowed it, okay? So we borrowed
recycling.
Yeah, we recycled it, yeah? And it worked out from there. And we used to, when we got bakeries, there's bakeries, I don't know what you over here have bakeries, but they have trolleys where they carry the bakery with 4 wheels on, yeah? We used to steal them, or borrow them rather, we used to borrow them. So the boxes used to go on. We had no time for vans, there were no vans. We couldn't afford vans. We had to carry the boxes on bread trolleys. And you could hear us 3 miles away carrying these boxes down the road, okay? But luckily it was about a mile away, the venue was about a mile away, so going there and coming back, you hear boxes. No vans, remember, no vans, because no money, okay? So that was a good story, because the houses, them days, you know, it was chipboard and stuff like that they used to use. And we had some guys that could build stuff good, some good, we'll call them now, chargers, yeah, that's it, chargers. Used to do stuff like that. So, and them days, well, we had no drill, there was no zzz, it was bare hand. Every screw was bare hand, and the screws are like that, long. So it took quite a long time to screw them in, and it was very blistering, very blistering.
And did you were always involved in building the sounds yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
And did you get, where did you learn it from?
I learned it from watching the elders, some other people, because, like I said, I wasn't interested in doing a sound system. When I was, you know, so high, I used to watch sound systems, just go with my cousin, he's older, and just watch, not really get involved. And then I just got involved. Like, it just happened, it just got involved. And then from there, when you get involved, it's like a big hobby. It's like, it's something that attacks you. It's just there for you you want more. Yeah. So I used to go home, and then I used to try wiring up 16 speakers in my mum's in the bedroom. So I used to get any speaker from anywhere. You just wire the speakers up. So I used to do all that. And my mum used to always complain, you know, and many arguments, but she's proud of me now. So
it
turned out okay, yeah. But I mean, serious. Wardrobes, I don't know if the word is for wardrobes over here, but big, where you put your clothes in, yeah? If any of those got thrown out, we got them. Because we built boxes out of them. That's how it was. Anything that can build something, tannoys, mid-range, bass box, you threw it out, we got it, and built. Yeah. Some rough-looking boxes, all different shapes.
And how did they sound?
At that time, good. But if I played it now, I don't know how we got away with it, but it worked at that time, you know, at that time, because, you know, to get a 100-watt speaker, them days for bass, was a lot of wattage. 100 watts, wow! It was like, yeah, man, 100 watts. It's like, oh, biggest speakers ever.